chance to speak since you kind of burst into the side, a month or so ago. You must be delighted, taking the midweek game aside maybe, you must be delighted with yours and the team's performance since you joined.
Yeah, definitely. It was a weird time before I came here. Actually, I was out of football for about 6 months or so. I didn't think that would be the case. So when I first actually started playing a game, it was definitely didn't feel as natural as I thought it would be. I'll be honest. It was like 10 months since I last played. That was Charlton, so I didn't feel my best. I'll be honest, but I felt like I coped okay, which was pleasing to know that the training I've been doing, like the months prior to it, definitely helped a lot. But since that first game, I think I've been pretty good overall. Bar the other night, of course, like you said. But since that first Charlton game, which I was kind of just trying to get into it, I think since then I've been pretty good. I felt pretty sharp. I felt fitter every game, and just my general match sharpness just feels better each game I play. So I'm really happy with how it started for me personally. And then from a team perspective, obviously we were 4 unbeaten before the other night, so that's pretty positive itself. So hopefully we can just keep building on that.
I guess from the manager's perspective, all he wants to do is select players that complement the side, that do a particular job on the field and add something, and you did that. I think you're right. The first game, we could see what you were capable of. It was just that maybe that rustiness, that match rustiness that you're talking about. But from then on, you've made yourself a really important player in what is a good footballing side.
Yeah, I think so, and I think like I said, those months prior to me joining, I kind of got a good feel for what I needed to do before I even signed, just purely because I was training here every day and I kind of knew the foundations and the structures of what was needed from me if I did ever join. So in terms of like the transition, it was quite easy to kind of step into it in that sense. But no, like you said, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like very good in terms of my own capabilities in a sense. And yeah, I just really want to push on and see where it can take us, really.
It appears there's a huge amount. This is an expression that's used a lot in football: the togetherness, the unity in the group. But that actually comes across when you guys are playing football. So presumably that's a dream for footballers to play in that kind of environment, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think even stuff like celebrations, you can see we don't just celebrate as like in ones or twos. It's everyone together, and I think that's really important if we're all on the same wavelength, both on the pitch and off the pitch. Who was I speaking to? I think Greedy the other day, and we were just saying how good the whole team spirit is just throughout the whole club. Whereas if it's staff or if it's players, and I think that's definitely really important if we're trying to take that from the training pitch to a real game situation, because we all know each other well as a person and as a player, which is really helpful.
And you spoke about Will Grigg there, so I might as well ask a question about him, because he's one of those signings, and he's one of those players that will attract headlines because of what he's achieved within the game at a certain level. And what kind of impact do you feel he's had from your perspective as somebody that plays with him? What kind of impact do you think Will Grigg's had on this side?
Yeah, he's just a genuinely nice guy as well, which I think really helps. A lot of people who have done well in their careers can definitely develop an ego sometimes, and he's like the opposite of that, in my opinion. He's just a genuinely nice guy, which I was really happy to see when I came here. And as a player, we obviously all know what he can do. Not just his goals. You can see as a player, he's just a real team player who plays for the team, and if he gets a goal, then he's happy. But his main priority is the team winning, like all of us is.
And game against Oxford on Saturday, a real opportunity against a side who, like MK Dons, have been in a rich vein of form and lost midweek, but a real opportunity just to bounce back. And I think it might have been Jordan Houghton who said, let's start another winning run, and that's the aim, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. We know Oxford are a good side as well. We're not going to hide away from that. And we know they've been on a good run. However, we have as well, like you said. So we're not fearing anyone in the league at the moment. I think that's definitely the feel around the club, we feel like we can beat anyone and we can outplay any team, to be honest. So I think in that sense it's really, really positive, just purely because of the fact that when we get on the pitch, we all know within ourselves that we think we're going to dominate this game, which is a really good feeling to have. And I think as good as Oxford are, we should have that mindset going into that game as well.
And just finally from me, Matt, does there, when the team collectively performs badly, like Tuesday, do you talk amongst yourselves? I mean, obviously your manager will have things to say and ways to talk to you about your performance, but do you get together collectively and you know, in groups and talk about, because you don't want to play like that, none of you want to perform like that, so do you talk?
Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, after the game, like straight after the game, is obviously just a general negative feeling when you lose like that. So it's kind of hard to speak logically about what went wrong. So we usually the next day we kind of like let it settle in and then try and think about what we really did wrong. So we've been going into like unit meetings, so like wing backs and like wingers, whatever, and then midfielders will go together as well. We'll all just talk about what we think we can improve on and whatnot, and that's kind of just the process of everyday life here, to be honest. It's pretty cool.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Was it a nervous time for you? You know, when you were released by Fulham, and there was that period where you obviously weren't assigned to a club, you were training with Dons, but was it, you know, given everything with COVID and everything, was it a nervous time for you, given that you are still so young and were potentially out of the game?
I mean, I wasn't nervous in the sense because Fulham did offer me like a quite lucrative contract, and so I didn't get released as such. I turned down a good contract purely because I didn't think the pathway there was right for me. So that's kind of why I seeked another opportunity. And I've been honest about this. I initially came here just to train and stay fit. That was like my honest thing, and I ended up going to Belgium whilst I was training here to go with the team there. And they seemed very interested, and then I came back here. I spoke with all the staff and that, and they were all like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I was like, at the time I really wasn't sure, and then I trained again another month or two here, and I realised how much I just enjoyed being here. And that kind of swayed me to just going with it, and just because I felt really, really happy just training here. But no, in terms of like the nervousness side, I wasn't ever nervous. It felt like a bit of a breath of fresh air when I kind of left Fulham. Not to be disrespectful to them, I just felt like I was in charge of my own career from that point. So that was quite a good feeling to have. But then I was definitely out of the game for longer than I would have liked, of course. Yeah, definitely.
It's not many jobs you get to do that, is it? Where you get to go and sample where you want to go and work before you actually show up. So what was it about Don? Was it just it was that collectiveness and the community spirit that you got when you were training here?
I think so, yeah. I said this in another interview with you guys, didn't I? I said right from day one I felt very, very at home, and I was obviously just someone who came here to train who no one really knew about here. And right from the off, both the staff and the players just made me feel really, really welcome, which was nice. I was quite surprised about. And then from that moment forwards, I just enjoyed it more and more, to be honest. And then yeah, here we are. Yeah.
And the manager said that you're one of the best finishers at the club. I mean, that must be quite a boost and quite a pat on the back from him.
Yeah, it's definitely a big confidence booster to know that your manager believes in you like that, and that's definitely another reason which swayed me to just really wanting to come here. Just the general belief of the staff that they have in me. I haven't really had that before. So in terms of a personal confidence point of view, it's definitely a huge boost. And I think it's just nice. I think in general as a team we don't shy away from praising each other, which is really important in our team at the moment. And if someone needs to improve or something, we'll let them know as well in a constructive way. I think everyone's on board with that, which is great.